Suddenly, there was an ear-splitting bang, and the pelican leaped 20 feet into the air. So did the Duke. "Watch out!" the Duke shouted, taking 10 rapid paces backwards. "He's trying to shoot his way out." And pointing his sword at the pelican, he bellowed, "Keep that beak closed, sir. Don't you dare let him out. He'll murder us all." "Shake him up, Pelly," cried the Giraffe. "Rattle his bones. Teach him not to do it again." The pelican shook his head so fast from side to side that the beak became a blur, and the man inside must have felt he was being scrambled like eggs. "Well done, Pelly," cried the Giraffe. "You're doing a great job. Keep on shaking him so he doesn't fire that pistol again." At this point, a lady with an enormous chest and flaming orange hair came flying down out of the house, screaming, "My jewels! Somebody stole my jewels! My diamond tiara! My diamond necklace! My diamond bracelets! My diamond earrings! My diamond rings! They've had the lot! My rooms have been ransacked!" And then this massive female, who was 55 years ago had been a world-famous opera singer, suddenly burst into song. "My diamonds are over the ocean. My diamonds are over the sea. My diamonds were pinched from my bedroom. Oh, bring back my diamonds to me." We were so bowled over by the power of the lady's lungs that all of us, excepting the pelican, who had to keep his beak closed, joined in the chorus. "Bring back, oh, bring back my diamonds to me, to me. Bring back, oh, bring back my diamonds to me." "Calm yourselves, Henrietta," said the Duke. He pointed to the pelican and said, "This clever bird, this brilliant burglar-catching creature, has saved the day. The bounder's in his beak." The Duchess stared at the pelican. The pelican stared back at the Duchess and gave her a wink. "If he's in there," cried the Duchess, "why don't you let him out? Then you can run him through with that famous sword of yours. I want my diamonds. Open your beak, bird." "No, no," shouted the Duke. "He's got a pistol. He'll murder us all." Someone must have called the police, because suddenly no less than 4 squad cars came racing towards us with their sirens screaming. Within seconds, we were surrounded by 6 policemen, and the Duke was shouting to them, "The villain you are after is inside the beak of that bird. Stand by to collar him." And to the pelican he said, "Get ready to open up. Are you ready? Steady? Go! Open her up." The pelican opened his gigantic beak, and immediately the policeman pounced upon the burglar, who was crouching inside. They snatched his pistol away from him and dragged him out and put handcuffs on his wrists. "Great Scott!" shouted the chief of police. "It's the Cobra himself." "The who? The what?" everyone asked. "Who's the Cobra?" "The Cobra is the cleverest and most dangerous cat burglar in the world," said the chief of police. "He must have climbed up the drain pipe. The Cobra can climb up anything." "My diamonds!" screamed the Duchess. "I want my diamonds! Where are my diamonds?" "Here they are," cried the chief of police, fishing great handfuls of jewelry from the burglar's pockets. The Duchess was so overcome with relief that she fell to the ground in a faint. When the police had taken away the fearsome burglar known as the Cobra, and the fainting Duchess had been carried into the house by her servants, the old Duke stood on the lawn with the Giraffe, the pelican, the monkey, and me. "Look!" cried the monkey. "That rotten burglar's bullet has made a hole in poor Nellie's beak." "That's done it," said the pelican. "Now it won't be any use for holding water when we clean the windows." "Don't you worry about that, my dear Pelly," said the Duke, patting him on the beak. "My chauffeur will soon put a patch over it the same way he mends the tires on the rolls. Right now, we have 4 more important things to talk about than a little hole in a beak. We stood there waiting to see what the Duke was going to say next. "Now listen to me, all of you," he said. "Those diamonds were worth millions, millions and millions, and you have saved them." The monkey nodded. The giraffe smiled. The pelican blushed. "No reward is too great for you," the Duke went on. "I am therefore going to make you an offer which I hope will give you pleasure. I hereby invite the giraffe and the pelican and the monkey to live on my estate for the rest of their lives. I shall give you my best and largest hay barn as your private house. Central heating, showers, a kitchen, and anything else you desire for your comfort will be installed. In return, you will keep my windows clean and pick my cherries and my apples. If the pelican is willing, perhaps he will also give me a ride in his beak now and again." "A pleasure, your grace," cried the pelican. "Would you like a ride now?" "Later," said the Duke. "I'll have one after tea." At this point, the giraffe gave a nervous little cough and looked up at the sky. "Is there a problem?" asked the Duke. "If there is, do please let me hear it." "I don't like to sound ungrateful or pushy," murmured the giraffe, "but we do have one very pressing problem. We are all absolutely famished. We haven't eaten for days." "My dear Giraffe," cried the Duke, "how very thoughtless of me. Food is no problem around here." "I'm afraid it is not quite as easy as all that," said the Giraffe. "You see, I myself happen to be—" "Don't tell me," cried the Duke. "I know it already. I am an expert on the animals of Africa. The moment I saw you, I knew you were no ordinary giraffe. You are of the geranious variety, are you not?" "You are absolutely right, your grace," said the giraffe. "But the trouble with us is that we only eat—" "You don't have to tell me that either," cried the Duke. "I know perfectly well a geranious giraffe can eat only one kind of food. Am I not right in thinking that the pink and purple flowers of the tinkle tinkle tree are your only diet?" "Yes," sighed the giraffe, "and that's been my problem ever since I arrived on these shores." "That is no problem at all here at Hampshire House," said the Duke. "Look over there, my dear Giraffe, and you will see the only plantation of tinkle tinkle trees in the entire country." The giraffe looked. She gave a gasp of astonishment, and at first she was so overwhelmed she couldn't even speak. Great tears of joy began running down her cheeks. "Help yourself," said the Duke. "Eat all you want." "Oh, my sainted souls," gasped the giraffe. "Oh, my naked neck. I cannot believe what I am seeing." The next moment she was galloping full speed across the lawns and whinnying with excitement. And the last we saw of her, she was burying her head in the beautiful pink and purple flowers that blossomed on the tops of the trees all around her. "As for the monkey," the Duke went on, "I think he also will be pleased with what I have to offer. All over my estate there are thousands of giant nut trees." "Nuts!" cried the monkey. "What kind of nuts?" "Walnuts, of course," said the Duke. "Walnuts!" screamed the monkey. "Not walnuts! You don't really mean walnuts. You're pulling my leg. You're joking. You can't be serious. I must have heard wrong." "There's a walnut tree right over there," the Duke said, pointing. The monkey took off like an arrow, and a few seconds later he was high up in the branches of the walnut tree, cracking the nuts and guzzling what was inside. "That leaves only the Pelly," said the Duke. "Yes," said the pelican nervously, "but I'm afraid that what I eat does not grow on trees. I only eat fish. Would it be too much trouble, I wonder, if I were to ask you for a reasonably fresh piece of haddock or cod every day?" "Haddock or cod?" shouted the Duke, spitting out the words as though they made a bad taste in his mouth. Cast your eyes, my dear Pelly, over there to the south. The pelican looked across the vast rolling estate, and in the distance he saw a great river. That is the River Hamp, cried the Duke, the finest salmon river in the whole of Europe. Salmon? Screeched the pelican. Not salmon? You don't really mean salmon? It's full of salmon, the Duke said, and I own it. You can help yourself. Before he had finished speaking, the pelican was in the air. The Duke and I watched him as he flew full speed towards the river. We saw him circle over the water. Then he dived and disappeared. A few moments later, he was in the air again, and he had a gigantic salmon in his beak. I stood alone with the Duke on the lawn beside his great house. Well, Billy, he said, I'm glad they are all happy. But what about you, my lad? I am wondering if you happen to have one extra special little wish all for yourself. If you do, I'd love you to tell me about it. There was a sudden tingling in my toes. It felt as though something tremendous might be going to happen to me at any moment. Yes, I murmured nervously. I do have one extra special little wish. And what might that be? Said the Duke in a kindly voice. There was an old wooden house near where I live, I said. It's called the Grubber, and long ago it used to be a sweet shop. I have wished and wished that one day somebody might come along and make it a marvelous new sweet shop all over again.